This is the CBS Evening News. With Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good afternoon, CBS. This is Dan Rather reporting with candidates McCarthy and Humphrey, here to talk about a couple things that they have to say. First off, I'd like to ask both of you the question, what do you believe distinguishes yourself as a Democratic candidate in this upcoming election? Let's start with you.
Thank you, President. I would have to say that my commitment to focusing on our great nation and the civil rights movement, as well as focusing on ending the war on poverty and internal infrastructure focuses, as well as ending the war in Vietnam, are some of my main focuses as a Democratic candidate.
Thank you. Mr. Humphrey?
I think what mainly sets me apart as a Democratic candidate is that I focus on the unity and aim to promote unity within our Democratic Party.
Secondly, what will you both do specifically to continue the great foundation laid down by the Lyndon B. Johnson administration?
I think that President Johnson has done an incredible job at enforcing containment. We do see that in the Vietnam War, but I think that our efforts there have gone on too long and that we need to pull back a little bit. But I do recognize the threat of communism, and I support his efforts to continue to emphasize our distaste and distrust for communists.
Wise words, Mr. Humphrey.
I hope to hold and maintain the foundation that Johnson set for us. And furthermore, I hope to hold the spirit of Mr. Johnson's great society in any actions that I do.
And lastly for you both, do you believe that this current Democratic National Convention is more divisive or competitive by nature?
As I previously told you, I do feel like the convention has an aspect of both. I feel like we together can come and find common ground and focus on some of the main issues that we struggle with in our great nation. But I do recognize that we are only a group of men and that we need to find we need to work together not only as Democratic candidates and members, but also with the people, such as the protesters that are outside. I do see also a competitive aspect because as someone who is hoping for the presidential candidacy, I have to compete with Mr. Humphrey, but I think that we can all come together and find some common ground through this convention.
I find that so far there's more of a competitive atmosphere rather than divisive. However, this may change in the following days, but as of now, it seems like, because we all have our own interests, however, we're still united under the Democratic Party as of now. So I believe that we're more competitive rather than decisive.
Thank you both so much for your time. This concludes this interview.
Drive carefully. And that's part of our world tonight. For the CBS Evening News, Dan Rather reporting. See you tomorrow. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, click on CBSNews.com. Brought to you in part by